wanted to do something, you know, the clothes are sort of so uptown as well, and there's quite heavy fabrics and they're very luxurious. So I wanted to do the hair very easy and cool, you know, just kind of bring it down a bit, because, you know, if it was sort of too uptown, it would be all too uptown, I think. So I think for London and for Emilia's clothes, which I absolutely love, I just thought the woman now looks cooler wearing these clothes, I think, when it's just natural hair, as if they've sort of just got out of the shower and dried it naturally. So, you know, it's sort of a natural centre parting. Some girls had poker straight hair, so I've just used a little bit of serum and a little bit like a messy tong, just to sort of get it, and just a little bit of fudge hairspray at the end.
Basically, Emilia really likes to keep it super light makeup, so the girls need to look very natural with quite a strong, handsome brow, and we're using like some Tom Ford like highlighter on the eyes and a little bit on the cheeks, and we're going to do kind of quite a natural lip, but basically it will be like a plum pencil rubbed in. We were going to do an orange lip and we decided against it. The collection is really super colourful, so orange did seem like a good choice, but now we just think it's kind of cooler and younger and, you know, just to be sort of very fresh and flawless looking.
This season I was focusing on, let's say, music from the Mississippi, sort of rhythm and blues. I like the line, that music that stirs your soul, and that was what I wanted to project with this collection. So I wanted to use very light fabrics. I wanted it to be very young and fresh. I wanted the girls to sort of look almost like they just sort of walked out of their apartment, put on something, pulled their hair behind their shoulders, and out they went. And I think that was achieved by using, I like to call it almost like a crinkly silk cotton, which doesn't have a crease factor. I played on completely different silhouettes with that fabric, which I thought was interesting. And then in complete contrast to that, I really played on this sort of crisp cream denim. And so I played with you know, pleated backs and full skirts, but then I also did sort of the straight short looks, playing on, let's say, an Emilia Wickstead white denim jacket that was very true to my silhouettes and styles and shapes. That was all to do with listening to a lot of blues music and getting inspired by that. I loved that you heard a little bit of the piano but not too much, and I wanted to give the collection something cheeky and whimsical, and I think that print did it all, and it was still using the colours that I had in the collection, very true to Emilia Wickstead, let's say, and that's how that started. I like to focus on volume, but I like it to be flattering, so I am aware that not everybody suits a full, you know, gathered full skirt, which I love, and I always have one in my collections, and that's why this season I wanted to create that same volume, but I wanted it to be a little bit more flimsy and light, and, you know, everything was unlined, and, you know, sometimes some of the styles stood away from your body, and I think that definitely had a lot to do with, you know, we've had the most magical summer here in London, and I think, what do you want to wear on those hot summer days when you get dressed up to go out, and that is still flattering to the figure. I think that I'm a big fan of sort of dusky baby pinks. I love yellow, and I wanted to use it for a few seasons, and I loved the contrast of the two colors, so that's how I played on that. But then I knew that I wanted this sort of you know, flash of something extra that gave it a little bit of a jump, let's say, because they were quite pastel-y, also with the mint green, and that's where the blue came in.
Emilia's got it. Emilia is probably the one for me that I watch because it's not only is it cool, but it's got that Oscar de la Renta factor, so any age can wear it. It looks rocking on a young person, but it actually looks awesome on an older person. So like you have someone like me who's 50 and above can wear it, to like all the Olivia Palermos and the young chicks who can wear it and rock it out. From the people that I work with, I have Gwyneth Paltrow and Cameron Diaz and all those girls aching for it and buying it. That's the difference. They are loving it.
I hope, well, very much true to what I do is I like to think, and it's true, and it may sound boring, but I like to think that my clothes are very beautiful from the outside as much as the inside. The quality and the silhouettes are as important to me as the designs, and I think that that's really true to, you know, and what's the most rewarding thing for me is anybody that wears my clothes, whether it be a client or someone in the limelight, but it is the most exciting reward for me.